What's up again, Vol Nation? This is Frank. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Tennessee takes care of business once again against Rice, 13-3 today. And this was one where we didn't get to watch part of it because there was a problem with the feed. But apparently the first inning, based on what it listed to, was pretty ugly with walks and errors for Rice. Tennessee didn't have a hit in the first, but yet left the first inning up 3-0. So that's a pretty good start, especially when you don't get a hit. But there were plenty of them the rest of the way. And this was a game that really was never in doubt. It was one that it was a business-like approach. Rice is the hometown team down in Houston. Pretty good baseball program. They've had some points, not so much this year, but interesting fact was the two teams had only played once. They said prior to today, and Rice actually beat Tennessee. And like I said, they've got a pretty historically good program. But, good day for Tennessee. Marcus Phillips had another good start today. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the win. This is becoming a pet peeve of mine. We got to fix this. He went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 wild pitch. That's a pretty good day. 89 pitches, 63 strikes. In 3 starts now, his ERA is 1.35. So I'm still curious to see long-term if he sticks to the rotation. But right now, he's really doing nothing to take him out of it, which is a good thing. He's pitched good baseball. And my concern with Marcus Phillips coming into the season was the walks. And so far, he's been really good with those. Braden Sharp come in, relieved him, went 1 1/3. Had 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, faced 5 batters, got 2 groundouts, 19 pitches, 11 strikes. He picked up the win today to go to 1-0 on the season. And then this was more of a bullpen game. This was more of your JUCO and freshman guys. You got Nick Abraham, went 2/3, gave up a couple runs, 1 hit, did have 2 strikeouts, had a wild pitch, was pulled. Michael Sharman come in, went 1/3. He did give up. He did enable one of Abraham's runners to come in to score. Sharman went an inning, had a strikeout, gave up a hit. Austin Breedlove then started the 8th inning, went 2/3, had a strikeout. Tanner Wiggins then come in, 1/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, gave up a walk, gave up a strikeout, 5 strikes and 11 pitches. So he got through it, but it was a little bit of an adventure for him. And then it was funny enough, I was talking to somebody during the game, and I said, I want to see more Braden Krenzel. We've not seen him. Well, we saw him in the 9th inning. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, 8 pitches, 8 strikes. That's pretty efficient baseball right there. This is a guy I think can factor in somewhere down the stretch. I'm mixed on these JUCO guys. I'll be honest with you. I think they're all midweek guys at this point, and that includes Ryan Combs. I'm not high on him right now. I got to see him do it against competition. I really kind of don't like him. I like a guy having fire. I like a guy who's full of piss and vinegar. Him staring down teams when they're blowing little teams. Come on, man. But we'll see. Tony Vitello mentioned that the other night, and he said that's something needs to get reeled in. But I'll be honest, I'm not as high on Combs as other people are. Just because his brother closed out the national championship, that doesn't mean squat to me. I want to see you do it against good competition. And, you do it against your Floridas, your A&Ms, LSUs and stuff. All right, we'll talk about it. But, we don't need to be, I get it. Sometimes you get heated in some games, but there's the Frank rant today. We'll see where they go with pitching tomorrow. Every prediction I've made on Sundays this year, I thought the first weekend it would be Snead, but since then I've missed on every midweek and Sunday start. I have my prediction who I think it should be tomorrow. That doesn't mean it will, and I'll get into that here in just a few minutes. But the lineup today, right now, just based on what we've done at this point, Gavin Kilen is he was rated one of the top transfers, and some rated him the top transfer in the SEC, and he was one of the top transfers in all college baseball. What a day he had today. 4 for 5, 2 home runs, a triple, a double, 4 RBIs. If it wasn't for that freaking shift, he hits for the cycle today. But But he had a hard shot in the last inning. Played right into the shift, though. Double played into the inning. I kind of thought he beat it, but that was one of those umpires ready to get out of there. If it's close, they're going to call it in a 13-3 ball game. But Kilen had a day. He's had 2 really good days. Through 2 games in Houston, he's had 4 home runs. All of them solo shots is the bad thing about it. Curley 0 for 3 on the day. Did have 2 walks, so he was on base, had 2 runs scored. A couple things I like today. Only 6 strikeouts. Only 7 left on base. That's pretty good. And 5 of them was through 2 hitters today. But yeah, it's going to happen sometimes. It's just going to happen. But Curley, I've already mentioned Kilen. Hunter Ensley, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs on the day. Andrew Fisher, 1 for 3, had 2 walks, 2 runs scored. Levi Clark, 1 for 3. He had a 3-run bomb, an opposite field shot today. He had a walk. Did have a couple strikeouts on the day. Ensley had a couple strikeouts. Curley had a strikeout. Stone Lawless had 1. But Reese Chapman, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Had a walk on the day. Manny Marin, 0 for 3. Had an RBI. Had a sac fly. He did leave 3 on. But still, he had a home run yesterday. He's hitting .412 on the season. Lawless, 1 for 5 with an RBI. He had a double. He smoked that one, too. He hit it to the deepest, almost the deepest part of that ballpark, the way it's laid out. But he smoked that one today. Jay Abernathy, 0 for 3 on the day. No walks or anything. And then you had guys who come in later on. Blake Grimmer come in. He was hit by a pitch. Hunter High come in. I don't see where he had an official at bat, but he had a heck of a catch out in right field, a diving catch out there, and he was fired up about it. That was pretty cool. Antigua hit today. He went 0 for 1. Dalton Burgo was 0 for 1 on the day in his appearance. Colby Backus, 0 for 0. Had a walk, had a run, scored. Good for him. Happy to see him get on base. And then Chris Newstrom come in, had a couple of at-bats. He was 0 for 1. Did have a ground out. He did have a walk, though, and a run scored. So Tennessee on the day, 13 runs, 10 hits. They did have 1 error. Rice, 3 runs, 8 hits. Rice had 2 errors on the day as well. So I'm trying to see. Looks like Abraham had the error, so he didn't do himself any favors. And the weird thing about it is I feel like most of Tennessee's defensive errors this year have been by the pitchers. Their infield has been pretty solid. I know Fisher's had some. I know he's not the only one, but I feel like their pitchers have had as many errors as their fielders have this year. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to go look at it, but I know of at least Phillips, Snead, and now Abraham have errors on the season. So I guess we'll have to get some extra PFP going this week with Frank Anderson and the staff. But Tennessee returns tomorrow at 11:05 against Arizona. Arizona beat Texas A&M yesterday, so that's they've had a little bit of a slow start to the season, but it's still a good baseball team. They were a regional host last year, so they were a top 25 team coming in to the season. It'll be a good test, and I hope. I don't know who starts tomorrow, to be honest with you. To me, and I say it every week, it should be Tegan Coons. That's who I want to see start tomorrow. But will they go Arvidsson again? It'd be interesting to see. My ideal kind of rotation I go tomorrow, I say rotation, kind of my ideal lineup of pitchers, I would go Coons, Loy, Snead. And then if you need to use somebody else in between, you do. But I think you use those 3, you're getting out there with a win tomorrow. And again, what should be a pretty tough matchup. And I think, again, the reason I want to see Coons, I want to see more Loy, I want to see more Snead tomorrow. This is, at worst, the second best team you've faced so far this year. Possibly the best. We'll see. I think Oklahoma State's a good baseball team. They were predicted to win the Big 12. Arizona, again, they were a regional host. They were top 25 coming into the season. So be a good test for this team tomorrow. I want to see some of your young guys throw against a team like Arizona. We'll see what Tony Vitello announces. I'm trying to see. I was hoping something would be announced here before I finished recording the video. I don't know that that will be the case, but he normally a lot of times will, in his press conference, say who's going to start the next game. So that remains to be seen. Now, I don't know where he goes with that one. I'm trying to go through some stuff. I don't see anything as of yet. We may find out now. We may not find out till tomorrow, till they put the lineups out on this one. But that's kind of where I'm at in it. This team looks good. So, but we got to pump the brakes a little bit, because I've already seen people saying, "Well, when do we have the conversation about is this team as good as the national?" Let's play some SEC competition before we get into that. It's a little premature. Yeah, this team looks really good, but beating the piss out of Rice doesn't constitute the conversation as of yet. Let's get a little further into the season. Do I think this team has potential to do big things like last year? Yes. I stick to my prediction. You can bookmark this. I think this pitching staff this year will be the best that Tony Vitello has had. Does that mean a national championship? No, it doesn't. But based on what I'm seeing, I love these arms. I love what they're doing. And we've not even seen, some of the best ones. And that's not including Russell, who's way ahead of schedule right now. We've seen very little of Coons, who was highly thought of. We've seen a little, like I said, I was impressed with Krenzel today. I wanted to see Krenzel. I liked what I saw there. He's a guy I think can be in. And then, which of these JUCO guys are going to step up? Again, somebody, are they midweek guys, or are they dudes who can get you an inning or two here and there? It remains to be seen, because I think this rotation is still a ways from being filled out, because you don't know. We'll see where it's all at when it's all said and done. If Marcus Phillips keeps doing what he's doing, he'll stay in it. But, there is that question. Can he? He's got the stuff. But we'll see where it's at down the line. 2 midweek games coming up this week as well. And then next weekend, they play good old, midweek. They've got Radford on Tuesday, and they have Xavier on Wednesday. Next weekend, you got St. Bonaventure, 3-game set in Knoxville. March 11th, midweek, you got West Georgia coming in. Then March 14th, it gets real. Florida comes to Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and SEC play is underway. Be live later on today after the Tennessee-Alabama game, which should start here in 5 to 6 minutes. Hopefully this Kansas-Texas Tech game will be over with as well. And notes of interest, so Lady Vols softball did win, beat UT Martin 10-0. And when I looked just a few minutes ago, they were up 5-0 in their game right now. So they keep on rolling, doing their thing. But this is Frank, House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a great rest of your Saturday. It's always a great day to wear the orange. And last but not least, go Vols.